Okay, hope this is working. I don't typically make videos when I'm driving, but I don't want to waste the time. I'm on my way for a jog, and this is just a good time to talk about what is upsetting me. I was very upset last night. My daughter was visiting with her husband, which is not bad. That's a good thing. We went in the morning for a big long walk over near Pilot Mountain, probably about 5 miles. It was a shaded trail and along the Yadkin River, and like this little creek that's really a very nice trail to walk on, especially on a hot day, which it was like 92 yesterday. Then we came home, ate some grub, took our little naps here and there, and it got to be around 7 o'clock or 6:30 or so, and I made a suggestion to everyone that we go to Renolda Gardens, which is a great big giant garden with flowers and vegetables over near Renolda House. The Reynolds family are the people that had R.J. Reynolds Tobacco, which is what Winston-Salem is famous for. So everybody said, yeah, let's go check out the gardens. So we went and we walked on a trail out towards, we checked out the gardens and then we walked on this lighted trail that went out towards Wake Forest University, because it's right close by. Wake Forest is. And we were kind of walking in sections. So my daughter and her husband were kind of behind me and my wife, and in front of us was my son and my daughter, who moved here from Washington a few weeks ago. And so we're just kind of walking along. We got to a point where we were actually on the campus of Wake Forest University, and my daughter acted as if she was going to go further. And I said, well, let's just wait for the other people to catch up before we make a decision, because we walked a long ways today, and on the trail, the river trail, and people might be tired. So, there's more of us here. There's a lot of us here. So let's just kind of make a group decision as to whether we want to keep walking here this evening. And right away, she copped this attitude. She had this tone in her voice, and she said, well, I'm tired too. I worked, and I did 11,000 steps at work, and then I came home and cooked, and I did all this stuff. I made cookies, and all that was true, But I said to her, well, no one expected you to make dinner. That wasn't an expectation of anyone. I said, and there's more people here than just you. So the implication of her tone was that she wanted to walk further, and that we were like losers if we didn't walk onto the campus of Wake Forest University and walk around. And there was just a tone there that was snotty. And, so I was trying to explain to her, well, other people are here. Like, we have to consider what other people want to do. And when I said something about, like, when I told her that no one expected her, no one was asked her to make dinner, or no one expected that, then she got really dramatic. She's like, oh, I see, my cooking isn't appreciated. I see. And it was just like, I didn't know what to do. I was so, frustrated. I said something like, come on, Catherine, that doesn't make sense. Don't be like that. It's not about your cooking. It's not about how appreciated you are. The matter at hand is whether together this group of adults is going to decide to walk further, and because it's more than just you here. And it just exploded. Quickly I walked away. I just turned and walked back to the car, because I was like, what are we having a fight for? What even sparks this? Why is there even a tone at all? And then I got in the car, And my daughter got in the car with her sister and her husband. And so it was just me, my wife, and my son. And we were driving home. And I was like, to Jessica, I was like, what could I have done differently there? Like, how was that my doing? Like, and once again, I had no support from my wife. I mean, she agreed with me that our daughter had a tone when she was talking to me. Like, what are you, a fat loser? Like, you don't want to go further on the, like what? Like, she is just thinking about herself and thinking about what I'm thinking about her. And like, she's looking for offense. And when you're looking for offense, you will find it, whether it's there or not. And then my 16-year-old son says, well, can I express my opinion on this? And I was like, I didn't really want to hear his opinion. He's 16. What the hell's he know? Nothing. And then he's trying to defend his sister's actions. And my wife says to him, well, I'm interested in your opinion. I'm interested in what you have to say. Now, granted, this isn't... it ended up feeling like dogpiling on me is what it felt like. Dogpiling on Dad. And I just got to a point where I was just like, I just couldn't take anymore. And I said, look, going to the park and doing something together, going to the gardens was my idea. It was my idea. I didn't have to do that. I could have stayed home. I would have been happy to stay home, read a book, write something, call somebody. I don't need fights and arguments and bullshit every time our family is together. And people do not have allowance. I'm not willing to be like this scapegoat that everyone can just pile on and say, well, Dad, it's you. No, fuck that. Really, seriously, fuck that. Because my daughter, she's an adult. She copped an attitude with me. And she made it about herself, and no one else had that in mind. And it wasn't about her. It was, so I was the adult. I was the grown-up who's thinking, hey, there's more people in here than just this one person. And she was thinking completely of herself. And for that, and then my wife says, well, that's 50-50 and this and that. It's comparing apples to oranges. I'm a grown person and I'm thinking about the whole group. Okay, my daughter wasn't doing that. She was thinking about herself. So it's a very different thing. I didn't cop an attitude. I just asked the question. I just said, well, we should get like consensus here. So I was furious about it. And so on the car ride home, I told my wife and son, I just sort of like expressed my feelings, I was like, my daughter, the one that's arguing with me, she wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. In fact, none of you would be here if it wasn't for me. We're in Winston-Salem because of my work, my decision. I was the driving force behind getting us here. I had just taken my son on Friday, the day before, to the DMV. It was my initiative to do that. He passed his driving school, and yet he wanted to get his permit to do the written test at DMV. He wasn't thinking about it. He was in bed at 11 a.m. when I said to him, let's go to the DMV. It's going to be hard. We're going to probably sit for a couple hours. Let's go to the DMV and let you take your test. And hopefully you'll pass it. And after that, you'll have your permit and you can drive, do supervised driving. He passed. He got it. He never said, hey, Dad, thanks for thinking of that. Thanks for, enduring the DMV with me. And I paid for driving school, the $600 for driving school and all this stuff. Not a word of thanks or appreciation. But yet, he's in my back seat coming back from an activity that we just did, telling me that I am in the wrong and I need to appreciate Catherine more. And, and And it just overwhelmed me. It was like, I don't have anyone here in my family that's on my side, that's on my team, that's like supportive. And so the kids can do whatever the hell they want. They can use whatever tone they want. They can be disrespectful. They can be unappreciative. Jessica never has a problem with it. You know, or if she does, she's like, oh, Steve should just handle it. Well, I'm done with it. I'm done with that. I'm done with being unappreciated. I'm done with being taken for granted. I'm done with not being listened to or being heard when I express things, because I don't need them. There's nothing here that's being added to me that's good for me. Okay? There's nobody, I don't have a bosom to lay on and be comforted by in this. I don't have a bosom for a pillow in a sense. I have people that are absolutely driving me fucking bonkers. And I don't know what the answer is. Like, I don't know what Jesus wants me to do with it. I really don't. Because, like, when I look at how Jesus responded to his family who didn't believe in him, he left. Or to people who wouldn't receive his message, like, he just left. He didn't argue with them. He didn't try to bring change and influence people after they had rejected him, didn't believe in him, didn't want to hear what he had to say. And he told his own disciples, if they don't receive your message, shake the dust off. Don't you even carry the residue of that place around on you. Just forget it. And I know it's different because this isn't like, this is a kind of service, right? This is like ministry. I'm the dad. I'm supposed to be the leader. I'm supposed to be the point guy. But yet these people are constantly attacking me from behind. They don't appreciate me. They argue every fucking thing that I say gets argued with. And I'm told I don't know by kids or by my immature wife who's acted like a child for most of our relationship. So I am just beside myself. Like, I'm just like, I just wish that I could be on my little mountaintop away from people, away from all humanity. I'm just so tired of people just draining me, especially the people that I should be able to count on. I can't count on them. I cannot count on people to be there for me. You know, my wife should be on my side. I think even when I make a mistake, if I make a mistake, I think she should be on my side. She should be like my cheerleader, you know, the person who's here for me. But instead, she's like, it's like a legal thing where she's like, oh, you know, let's have all the kids now gang up on dad. Well, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get an absent person. I'm going to leave. I'm just not going to live the rest of my life being treated this way and being made to feel this way. I've spent 47 years, my whole existence has been this, my childhood and then my marriage. It's been this dynamic. Like, you're only going to get some little shred of love or little scrap of love based on how well you perform and how much you do for us. And boy, if you step out of line, we're coming down like wrath on you. And I'm just tired of it. It's like living in the world, you get enough of that. At home, you need a safe space. You need a place where you can just, where you know you have people that are going to be there for you. And I don't have that. So, I don't know. I'm going to go for a run. Hopefully it'll make me feel better. It usually does help me to de-stress somewhat, but something has to change because I'm not going to have my kids talking to me this way. I don't have any obligation to help my adult daughter as much as I have. I don't have an obligation to do that. She's in the situation she's in because she didn't listen to me years ago, and she doesn't listen to me now. So I'm not going to keep frustrating myself by trying to talk to these people, casting pearls before swine or whatever's happening. I just let them do what they want. They can have the fruit of whatever they want. And I'm just tired of it.